Have you ever been in a fight where you felt like you were about to lose your temper? We've all been there, whether it's a disagreement at work, an argument with a friend, or a fight online. But what if I told you there was a way to deal with conflict without using force, either literally or figuratively? The ancient Stoics, who were masters of controlling emotions and thinking calmly, have incredible ways of dealing with quarrels calmly and with balance. In this video, you'll learn 13 Stoic-inspired techniques for dealing with conflict, with tips from great thinkers such as Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. These techniques may require more patience and effort than fighting, but the benefits, such as inner peace, lasting solutions, and better relationships, are well worth it. So, are you ready to learn how to deal with conflict like a true Stoic? Don't forget to click on the subscribe button and activate the notification bell to watch all the videos on how to face life's challenges with the wisdom of the Stoics. Remember, the greatest victory lies not in external fights, but in controlling your mind and heart. Number 1. Understand your opponent well. Imagine you're on the edge of a turbulent river, with the waters churning furiously. A wise Stoic would stop before jumping into the water, focusing on the depths that are not visible rather than on the choppy surface. The first step in facing a conflict, according to the Stoics, is to understand the person you're fighting with well. When we're in an intense situation, it can be tempting to act quickly. However, understanding well what is going on requires you to go beyond what is visible and not judge immediately. As Epictetus says, it is not the events that disturb us, but the way we see them. Here's how to start understanding the situation better. First, step back from the present moment. Take a deep breath and mentally pause to observe things calmly. Imagine yourself as a fly on the wall and observe the situation neutrally. This emotional distance helps you understand better and think more clearly. Investigate what motivated the other person. Instead of making counter-arguments, ask sincere questions. Try to find out what led the person to act in a certain way. What worries them? What do they want? What has happened in their life that might have influenced their point of view? Open-ended questions, such as what brought you to this point, or what's worrying you, can help you understand the situation better. Look from their perspective, not to agree, but to understand. Try to imagine what it's like to be in the other person's shoes, to see things from their point of view, not to support what they do. How do they see the situation? What makes them act this way? The aim here is to develop empathy, find common ground, and see the world through their eyes. Instead of simply agreeing, try to understand what lies beneath the surface. Often, fights stem from deeper problems, such as unfulfilled desires, fears, or past wounds. Try to look beyond the argument and identify the deeper issues that are causing the conflict. What desires are still unfulfilled? What fears are surfacing? Remember, the goal is to understand better, not to accept the person's behavior. Try to understand the different layers of experience and perspective that affect the person's actions. Just as a geologist studies the layers of rock to understand the terrain, you can find undiscovered commonalities by practicing this depth-seeking technique. You can also learn important things about yourself and how you react. Conflict that once seemed like a tumultuous river can become a calmer stream, with understanding and possible resolution being found along the way. Number 2. Choose your fights carefully. In life, there are many moments when we can disagree, from political discussions to disagreements in parking lots. However, as the Stoics teach us, only a few of these disputes really deserve our full attention. Getting involved in every little squabble can wear us down emotionally. So the second Stoic technique is to choose your battles wisely. Imagine you're on a large battlefield. Every argument and disagreement can become a conflict. A wise Stoic would pause and assess each situation carefully before entering the fray. Is this worth fighting for? Will this fight affect my health or something important to me? The principles of Stoic philosophy can help you choose your battles. Seneca's test: pause and think. Remember Seneca's words, the best remedy for anger is pause. It's important to take a moment to calm down before reacting. Take a step back and look at the situation calmly. Often, the heat of the moment can make us see things in the wrong way, making it difficult to make wise decisions. Epictetus' question: does it really matter? Ask yourself. It is not the events that disturb us, but the way we see them As Epictetus put it, is the debate affecting your morale, well-being, or something important to you, or is it just a minor irritation, a stone in the road rather than a mountain to be conquered? Focus on the issues that really matter. To deal with them in a more effective and focused way, the Marcus Aurelius principle. Sometimes silence is better. Recognize the power of letting go. Often, taking no action is the best option. According to Marcus Aurelius, it is often enough to keep your mouth shut and let things take their course. Ignoring minor offenses or deciding not to get involved in unnecessary arguments can be a very effective way of maintaining inner calm. The cost-benefit analysis of Stoicism. Evaluate the advantages and disadvantages. Every conflict has a cost, both in terms of mental effort and possible outcomes. Compare what you stand to lose emotionally if you lose the argument with the possible rewards of winning. Is the price of winning worth it? Sometimes true strength is knowing when to withdraw with dignity. Remember that choosing your battles carefully doesn't mean being weak or indifferent. It means understanding that your time and energy are limited and using them wisely. Using this Stoic knowledge, you can face life's challenges in a more focused way and save your energy for the moments that really matter. Number 3. Speak calmly and clearly. Imagine you're facing someone, but instead of using weapons, you're using well-prepared words. The Stoic approach emphasizes the importance of speaking calmly and clearly, which allows for more constructive dialogue. Instead of shouting and making accusations, this technique, based on the ideas of Stoic thinkers such as Seneca, suggests that you express your concerns and requests clearly to promote understanding and reduce hostility. Here are some tips for communicating in the Stoic style. Develop your active listening skills. Don't just wait for your turn to speak. Pay close attention to what the other person is saying before giving your own opinion. Observe both their words and their body language. Don't interrupt, nod, and maintain eye contact. This shows that you are listening and understanding what the other person is saying. Respect their emotions and validate their experiences. Show empathy, not necessarily agreement. Respect a person's feelings and experiences, even if you don't agree. Saying things like, "I understand that you're frustrated," or "it sounds like this is important to you," can help create a connection and a more positive relationship. Raise your concerns using I statements. Talk about your own point of view. Instead of blaming the other person, use sentences beginning with I to communicate your needs and feelings. For example, "I need to feel respected in this situation," or "I get upset when you do action." This helps prevent the other person from feeling attacked and promotes a more collaborative approach to solving the problem. Speak firmly and calmly, not aggressively. Control and calmness are what shows strength, not nose. Speak clearly to be understood, not because you are angry. Keep a calm and firm tone. Avoid insults and personal attacks, as they only make the situation worse. Put solving problems first, not winning points. Try to solve the problem, not win the argument. The aim is to find a solution that helps both sides, not just to win. Start the conversation with a question like, "What can we do to solve this together?" and focus on finding a cooperative solution. Ask yourself, how can we reach an agreement that is good for both of us? Remember that speaking calmly and clearly is an important skill. If you make a mistake, don't be afraid to apologize and be patient with yourself. Over time, even the most difficult situations will become easier with positive communication. Number 4. Find the path you both share. Imagine that two climbers are climbing different mountains, but soon they realize that their paths meet at the same summit, or they can understand each other. This image helps explain the fourth technique for resolving conflicts. Looking for a road that you can both follow together. This is related to the Stoic concept of living in harmony with nature. Although quarrels may seem to show that our goals are different, the Stoics teach us to look beyond the differences and discover what we have in common, even if it's not obvious at first. When we focus on shared interests, we can find ways to cooperate and reach a more amicable agreement. To start looking for this common ground, follow these steps. See the problem as a team effort. Instead of thinking it's you against me, see the situation as working together to achieve a common goal. Ask yourself, what do we both want in the end? Changing this perspective can help you find points of agreement. Even if they aren't immediately clear, look for the needs behind the desires. Conflicts often arise because people have important needs that aren't being met. Try to understand what each person is seeking from the discussion. It could be a need for security, respect, or recognition. Understanding these needs can help find solutions that suit both parties. Find out what values you share. Values guide what we do. Try to look beyond the specific problem and see which principles are important to both of you. Do you both value honesty, justice, or kindness? Finding these shared values can help you make decisions that are in line with what you both believe. Start with small agreements and build trust. Value small victories. Don't expect to solve everything at once. Instead, try to find small things that you agree on, even if they seem small. These small agreements can help build trust and make it easier to solve more difficult problems. Remember that resolving conflicts is a journey, not a final destination. Be patient. It can take time to find a point of agreement, so be patient and understanding. Acknowledge progress and accept that there may be failures. Every step towards cooperation is a step away from fighting. Using this Stoic technique, you'll be able to see the connections between your experiences and build a more peaceful future. Those who work together, guided by the same ideals and interests, will achieve greater understanding. Number 5. Present your inner values. Imagine you are standing in front of a large oak tree, its roots deeply embedded in the ground. You can't just move an oak tree with force. An intelligent Stoic knows that the elements, such as wind and water, can gently help move things towards your ideals, as if they were whispering in your ear. This image shows how appealing to inner values can help resolve disputes peacefully and effectively. Instead of attacking the person directly, focus on their values and beliefs. Understanding and respecting these values can lead to solutions that are in line with your deepest beliefs. This will make the person feel more connected and accept the agreement more easily. To start using this values-based approach, follow these steps. Find out the other person's values. Do some research into what principles are important to them before presenting your argument. What is important to this person? What values guide their actions? Pay attention to what they say and do, and note what they praise, deny, or affirm. This will help you create a map of their values and find possible connections. Find common values. Don't assume that the other person's values are totally different from yours. Try to find principles that you share, even if they don't seem to fit in the current situation. Do you both value responsibility, honesty, and fairness? Identifying these common values can help you present your point of view in a way that resonates with the other person. Number 4. Speak in their language. Once you have a good understanding of what is important to them, adapt your words to fit this. Instead of trying to trick them, speak in a way that shows you understand what is important to them. This means expressing your own values in a way that matches theirs, helping to create common ground without giving up your own. Don't just talk, as actions often speak louder than words. Show them how your solution fits in with their values, rather than just explaining it. Give specific examples, tell stories, or talk about things you've already done to show how your idea reflects the principles that are important to them. This helps make your point stronger and more personal. Remember that respect is very important. Try to understand and not dominate. Always be respectful and understanding. Your goal is to find a solution that addresses their concerns and aligns with their values, not to control or dominate the situation. By using this Stoic technique, you become a guide, not a fighter who uses words, bringing your opponent to a place where they can truly believe. Remember that real change comes from connecting with the values that define a person, not from force. This approach helps build mutual respect and understanding and, in the end, can lead to solutions that are good for everyone. Number 6. Use humor carefully to resolve conflicts. Imagine you're walking on a tightrope over a pothole. One false step can make you fall, but humor can help you keep your balance. Using humor to resolve conflicts is the main idea of the 6th Stoic technique, which is well represented by this image. Laughter can help reduce tension and create a more open atmosphere for conversation. A well-placed joke or jest can help relieve pressure and allow understanding to grow, releasing built-up frustration. The Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "A joke is a delicate thing, and a joke can become an insult." We must use humor carefully to make the most of its advantages. Here are some tips for using humor effectively. Know who your audience is. Not everyone finds the same things funny, so consider the type of humor the other person enjoys before making a joke. What makes them laugh? What topics are sensitive for them? Be careful and err on the side of caution, because a joke that is funny to one person may offend another. Aim for shared joy, not excessive fun. The aim is to laugh together, not to use humor to ridicule or belittle the other person. Humor that plays with itself is generally safer because it shows humility and a willingness to acknowledge mistakes. Choose the right moment. Assess the situation before using humor. Humor can make things worse if misused. It's best to wait until the tension subsides if emotions are running high. Stay calm and be kind. Avoid insults and sarcasm. Don't make jokes that disrespect sensitive subjects, stereotypes, or personal criticisms. Remember that the aim is to build connections, not destroy relationships. Use humor as a tool, not as an escape. Don't rely on humor alone to resolve the argument. Although it can be useful, it shouldn't replace sincere conversations or the resolution of important issues. Don't expect humor to solve everything. Use it sparingly to help create a more open atmosphere and relieve tension. If in doubt, it's best to avoid jokes to ensure that they are appropriate. Remember that it's easier to gain trust than to regain it after a mistake. By using humor in the right way, it can be an effective tool for building relationships, relieving stress, and opening up space to resolve conflicts rather than a dangerous tightrope walk. The power of laughter is in bringing people together, not dividing them. When used correctly, humor can transform tense moments into opportunities for understanding and resolution. It may surprise you. Number 7. Offer empathy. Imagine you're climbing a difficult mountain and you see a fellow climber on the other side, going in the opposite direction. They look upset and angry, like a windstorm. Instead of trying to argue, the Stoic idea is to descend slowly, fill the space, and offer help. This is the principle of the 7th strategy, which is to show empathy. Empathy is an effective way of solving problems amicably, even when discussions are heated. As Marco Aurelio said, we can create good connections and open doors to more useful conversations by recognizing and validating the other person's feelings. Here's how to develop this Stoic skill. Look at it from their point of view. See things as they see them. Try to understand a situation from their perspective, rather than focusing only on your own. What events in their life might be affecting their emotions? What might be making them insecure or worried? Changing the perspective helps to create empathy and understand the situation more clearly. Notice what is not said. Pay attention to the words and also to the things that aren't said. It's important to notice body language, tone of voice, facial expressions, and spoken words. Sometimes the deepest emotions are hidden behind words. Understanding these signs can help you see what the person is really feeling. Listen without judging. While listening, try to understand without making judgments. Acknowledge the person's emotions without judging their behavior. Even if you don't agree, show that you understand and support their feelings. Saying something like, "I can see that this is important to you," or "it sounds like you're frustrated," can help build more trust and decrease defensiveness. Look for the hidden pain. Find the cause of the disagreement. Often, anger comes from deeper emotional wounds. Try to find out where the person's pain, fear, or insecurity comes from. Understanding this helps to treat the root of the problem, rather than just the symptoms. It also helps to create empathy. Know that validating is not agreeing. Walk alongside them, not in front. Showing empathy doesn't mean agreeing with everything the person does or changing your own principles. Just acknowledge the person's vision and create an environment where you can have a sincere conversation. You can disagree respectfully, but still show understanding. By using empathy, you build a bridge of understanding, not just a temporary solution. Put yourself in their shoes to connect, not to judge. This helps create a real connection and can lead to a real resolution for the future. So come down from the mountain, reach out and offer the gift of empathy. Together, you can find a solution. Number 8. Practice the art of compromise. Imagine yourself in front of a large oak tree, its branches swaying in the wind. Trying to force the oak to bend can end up hurting the tree and you. A more sensible approach to learn the art of adapting, of finding a way for the wind and the oak to coexist peacefully. Having fixed and absolute ideas rarely helps to resolve conflicts. Epictetus said, "Don't try to do things your way, but accept them as they are, and you will have a peaceful life." Finding answers that help solve everyone's problems is a sign of true power. Here's how to practice this Stoic art. Replace I with we. Seek conflict as a group effort. Instead of seeing the situation as a competition, treat it as a chance to find a solution that works for everyone. This change of perspective can lead to more harmonious and creative solutions. Find common goals. Look for points that you have in common, even if they are small. Think about long-term goals that you share and look beyond the current problem. Perhaps you value things like fairness, respect, or a good working environment. Finding these commonalities helps create a basis for reaching an agreement. Define what is most important and be willing to give up some things. Not all details are equally important. Decide what is most crucial to you and be prepared to give in on smaller things. This helps you focus on finding solutions that solve the main problems. Look for win-win solutions. Try to find a solution where everyone feels that their needs are met. Instead of focusing on winning, look for a solution that helps everyone feel satisfied and understood in the long term. This reduces animosity and promotes a sense of fairness. Remember that life is a journey, not a destination. Be patient and flexible. Compromises are rarely permanent. Be ready to adjust the agreement if circumstances change or new information becomes available. A lasting commitment requires open communication and a willingness to adapt. Number 7. Accepting the Stoic art of compromise helps keep your values and principles intact. Instead of trying to force things your way, you show strength, flexibility, and commitment to finding solutions that work for everyone. Just as the wine and the oak adjust to each other, you learn to live in balance, which brings a more peaceful and harmonious outcome for everyone. Number 9. Ask for outside help without feeling embarrassed. Imagine yourself stuck in a hawthorn, with the branches blocking your way and making it almost impossible to get out. This can be similar to being in an argument where communication fails and reaching an agreement seems impossible. However, the Stoics teach us that we are not alone in these situations. The 9th strategy is to ask for outside help, showing that you are committed to finding a positive solution, not that you or we. A mediator or counselor can help guide the way through the conflict, like a teacher who teaches. They can create an environment where everyone is heard and respected. Here's how you can benefit from it. Break down confusing communication. When we are very emotional, it can be difficult to talk clearly or understand others. An impartial third party can help clarify ideas and make the conversation calmer and more productive. Build a bridge of understanding. Counselors and mediators help people understand each other and reduce defensiveness. They can help each party see the other's point of view, promoting empathy, encourage productive conversations. Skilled facilitators can guide the conversation so that everyone can express their concerns and work together to find solutions, offer resources, and techniques. Many counselors are trained in how to resolve conflicts and communicate well. They can teach you skills that will help you build stronger relationships and deal with conflicts in the future. Remember that asking for help is a sign of wisdom, not weakness. In Stoic philosophy, asking for help is an intelligent way of seeking a solution that works for everyone. By asking for help, you use other people's knowledge and experience to resolve conflicts and find a peaceful solution. Asking for help can light the way and remind you that you are not alone, even in the most difficult situations. Number 10. Forgiveness. Imagine yourself stuck on a large rock, which pulls you down while the jagged edges hurt you. This weight, which binds you to the past, is resentment, and forgiveness is a way of freeing yourself from these chains. Forgiveness doesn't justify the past or the other person's behavior. Seneca said that he who is vengeful lives with an ever-open wound. Instead, forgiveness is a conscious choice to let go of the pain and move on with greater peace and clarity. Here's how to start this journey of liberation. Focus on how it affects you. Holding on to anger and resentment does more harm to you and to the person who caused the problem. It drains your energy, affects your judgment, and makes it harder to be happy. You can choose to forgive and put your well-being first. Consider the other person's perspective. In order to forgive, it's important to understand what led the person to act as they did. This involves recognizing your own weaknesses and understanding the situation more broadly. This change of perspective can increase empathy and reduce the emotional impact. Leave the past behind, but remember the lessons. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting, but rather letting go of the negative feelings related to the past. Keep the lessons you've learned, but let go of resentment and hatred. Practice forgiveness constantly. Forgiveness is an ongoing process. Make an effort to let go of bad feelings whenever they arise. Techniques such as writing in a journal, practicing mindfulness, and meditating can help in this process. Remember that forgiveness is a gift to you. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. Free yourself from the bonds of negativity and bringing you more joy and inner peace. Forgive yourself. Don't just hope that the other person deserves it. Accepting spiritual forgiveness allows you to change the present and make room for a better future. Instead of erasing the past, choose to walk the path of peace and self-compassion, freeing yourself from bitterness and anger. Remember that forgiveness shows your strength and dedication to your well-being, not weakness. Take a deep breath, let go of the weight, and move towards a future with more freedom and inner tranquility. Number 11. Growth from the ashes of conflict. Imagine a phoenix that, after going through a conflict, rose stronger and wiser. The 11th Stoic strategy teaches us to use conflict as a chance to grow personally, and this powerful metaphor helps us understand that. Remember Epictetus' advice to make the best use of what is within your reach and regard the rest as fixed and beyond your control. Through reflection and personal evaluation, you can turn a disagreement into a chance to learn and grow. Here's how to start this journey of change. Adopt a learning attitude. View challenges as opportunities to grow. Change the way you look at conflict, seeing it as a chance to develop and learn. Be open to examining your own actions and mistakes and treat the situation with an open mind. Identify the causes of the problem. Ask yourself why you reacted in a certain way and how this relates to your beliefs and values. What feelings dominated and how did they affect your actions? Being honest with yourself is important for understanding your habits and reactions. So think about these questions carefully. Turn your ideas into action. Don't just reflect. Use your observations to make practical changes. If you had trouble communicating, maybe it's time to improve your listening skills. If your feelings were too strong, try mindfulness techniques to help control your emotions. Seek advice and constructive criticism. Learn from trusted people, such as loyal friends, therapists, or mentors, who can offer guidance and an unbiased view. Talking to someone about your experiences can help you see things differently and take responsibility. Remember that growth takes time and patience. Expect gradual improvements. Personal development requires continuous effort. Accept failures as learning opportunities and celebrate your small achievements. Adopting this Stoic philosophy can transform a conflict from something negative into a great opportunity for self-knowledge and positive change. Just as the phoenix rises from the ashes, you can emerge stronger and wiser, ready to face challenges with balance and courage. Remember that you can learn and grow, and that even the most difficult situations can help you become the best version of yourself. Number 12. Set boundaries. Imagine yourself on a beach with gentle waves lapping at your feet, but someone is invading your space and disturbing you. Setting boundaries and protecting your well-being are important things that the 12th Stoic technique teaches us, representing how to deal with interactions in a balanced way. It's not the event itself that affects us. As Epicurus said, although we cannot control what others do, we can control how we react. By defining what we accept and what we don't, we can protect ourselves from negativity and create happier relationships. Here's how to apply this idea in practice. Understand what you need. Think about your needs and values before setting limits. What is important to you? What behaviors affect your well-being or invade your personal space? Knowing what is important to you helps you communicate your limits effectively. Communicate clearly and respectfully. Use words to express your boundaries. Don't create barriers. Avoid being vague or passive-aggressive. Use sentences that start with "I" to say what you need and how you feel. Maintaining respectful and direct communication helps promote cooperation. Stay consistent. Once you set your limits, stick to them. Don't give in to guilt or avoid conflict by making exceptions. Respecting your own boundary shows that you value yourself and helps others to respect you. To be prepared for resistance. Understand that not everyone will accept your limits easily. Be ready to face some resistance by gently reaffirming your limits and explaining the importance of respecting them. Remember the benefits of boundaries. Setting boundaries is not selfish. It's a way of looking after yourself and protecting your mental and emotional health. It creates a space where you can grow and live happily, in line with Seneca's desire to live with joy and gratitude. Creating boundaries is an act of self-love that promotes respect, clear communication, and more satisfying relationships. Instead of building barriers, remember that setting limits is like building a solid foundation for living a life of inner freedom, respect, and tranquility. Number 13. Remember that you control your reactions. Imagine that you are in the middle of a strong storm, with huge waves and strong wind all around you. Although the storm is something you can't control, you can choose how you react to it. This idea captures, well, the concept of the 13th Stoic tactic, remembering that you can control your reactions, even when you can't control what happens around you. The Stoics teach us that true strength comes from controlling our inner selves, not trying to control the outside world. Epicurus said, "It is a pity for the soul to depend on the body for satisfaction." We find inner peace by focusing on what we can control, which is our own reactions. Here's how to develop this skill of Stoicism. Identify what affects you. Find out what usually makes you feel bad. Think about the situations or things that usually bother you. Are there certain words, people, or situations that irritate you? The first step to controlling your reactions is to recognize what triggers you. Take time to breathe. Create a space between what happens and your reaction. Decide to wait before acting on impulse. Take a deep breath and give yourself a moment to think and assess the situation calmly. This helps you make more considered decisions and prevents your emotions from directing your actions. Change the way you see things. Change the way you look at the situation without changing the facts. Often, our reactions are more influenced by how we interpret things than by the actual events. Look at situations from different angles and challenge your automatic ideas. Is there a way to solve the problem? What positive aspects can you focus on? Choose your reaction carefully. React consciously, not just on impulse. After taking a breath and adjusting your vision, think carefully before responding. Will reacting in anger or frustration help, or is it better to stay calm and be assertive? Remember that your reaction can either make the situation worse or better. Always practice. Controlling your reactions takes time and practice, just like learning any other skill. Practice regularly to improve. By trying out different ways of responding in difficult situations, you can increase your emotional resilience and self-control. Adopting the Stoic idea doesn't mean becoming weak. It means gaining strength. You learn to face life's difficulties with courage and calm, finding inner peace by controlling your reactions instead of trying to dominate the world around you. The true test of strength is having power over your thoughts and feelings, not over others. So stay calm under pressure, make smart decisions, and face life storms with balance. Using these Stoic techniques, you can turn conflicts into opportunities for learning and peace of mind. Remember that the real victory lies in controlling your emotions and becoming a stronger, more confident version of yourself.